Hello, this is New Vision TV. I am Lynn Komjisha. Social and mainstream media are intensely covering the arrest of Frank Gashumba and his brother, Innocent Gashumba. New Vision TV examines whether the fuss over Gashumba is worth the space and time.
The arrest of Frank Gashumba and his brother Innocent Kasumba over attempted fraud by the chieftains of military intelligence has raised eyebrows. The military and the defense spokesperson, Brigadier Richard Karemere, has described Frank Gashumba as a small person and advised the media not to bother about him. But while many would agree with the description, the use of the military to go after a petty criminal about town is rather unusual. The Gashumba brothers are suspected to have tried to con clients by pretending to get them government supply tenders, but Kampala has shortage of con men engaging in such bogus deals. Gashumba is also being investigated over 2 passports bearing his likeness but in different names. Gashumba has had similar issues of bogus deals in the past, so why did those old cases die out? Was it investigative weaknesses of police, or did the complainants lose interest because of the pettiness of the suspect?
As the search for Innocent Kasumba, aka Simon, went on. Finally, on Saturday, on the 29th October 2017, Innocent Kasumba, alias Mtawaz Simon, was arrested. And a search conducted on his residence yielded several items that included over 20 various stamps, including one of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, multiple identification documents, including his 2 passports with separate identities, and a passport of Gashumba Frank in the name of Sentom Frank Adisans.
Frank Gashumba is a loud critic of government without organizational force behind him. His movement, called Sisimuka, which means wake up, is more of a one-man lecture series that encourages people to work hard and not rely on government. But although documents indicate that Gashumba was born in 1968, his lifestyle is of a much young person, and the media tends to group him with the upcoming city wannabes. He has always tried to boost his daughter Sheila's image, and journalists are aware of his frequent lobbying for her to keep featuring in the press. So why should the national military be interested in him?
On the 29th October 2017, Gashumba Frank also turned up at CMI with his lawyer friend, one Samba Joffrey, to follow up on his brother, who was already with us. And he was also arrested to explain further. The reason and source of multiple identification documents under his name, his relationship and role in the flagship group that under which the investor was to be defrauded was a cause of concern.
Gashumba's arrest, however, comes at a time when the military intelligence is taking over big cases that the police has failed to resolve. In March, following the assassination of police spokesperson AIGP Andrew Felix Kawesi, President Yoweri Museveni complained of the increase in criminality in the police force and tasked IGP Kale Kayihura to clean it up.
The police has been infiltrated by criminals. Kale, you must clean the police.
But the president's frustration with the police instead increased with the murder of over 20 young women in Wakiso district, over which police has arrested 100 people but has made little headway. The government has also been slapped with the 1.7 billion shillings bill for the torture of Kawesi's murder suspects, although the prosecution has not come up with a convincing case against the 20 or so accused. And more recently, the chieftains of military intelligence has also taken over cases of rogue police officers who are accused of abducting refugees and forcefully returning them to the countries they fled from, thus spoiling Uganda's reputation. Yet these cases are coming up amidst reports of police guns being hired out to criminals for as little as 100,000 shillings. So far, Gashumba has been fitting in well with attention-seeking socialites of Kampala. So do his latest offenses place him in a category of dangerous criminals that have frustrated the president to the extent of calling in the military?
You're still watching New Vision TV, and now for Pearl of Africa series, we take a look at Zakayo. We take you on a meet and greet with Uganda's oldest chimpanzee and his friends. 54-year-old Zakayo is Uganda's oldest chimpanzee, residing at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center. Uganda's estimated chimpanzee population stands at 4,950. Now, the country is also devising means of protecting the chimps, who are among the endangered species globally. This is Zakayo. He is 54 years old and the oldest chimpanzee in Uganda. Chimps are man's closest living relatives, sharing more than 98% of man's genetic blueprint, with similar physical features like humans, such as knees, skin on the face, ears, palms and soles on the feet. The rest of the body is covered with brown to black hair. Chimpanzees usually move on the ground, although during the day they mostly stay in trees. Zakayo's home is the Uganda Wildlife Education Center after being rescued from captivity. He is among the 18 chimpanzees at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center. Here he eats and drinks, sleeps, plays and entertains his visitors. Zakayo loves eating bananas. Feeding time is important, and one of the caretakers gives a breakdown on the feeding time.
When they come back from the forest, that meal is also different. Chimpanzees basically eat fruits and vegetables. And 95% of their diet includes fruits and vegetables. They eat leaves, fruits, barks of the trees, some roots, and the shrubs. Then, when they need some protein in their diet, that's the time when they can go into hunt for some meat, especially from red colobus monkeys, some small rodents, and some small mammals in the forest. They also able to do fishing of termites, and they are also a source of protein at the moment. They can also be in position to do get honey in case they come across the honey hives from the forest.
Chimpanzees' dishes are largely fruits, vegetables and honey, but also chimpanzees eat red meat and smaller rodents and insects such as termites. Other provisions the caretakers have added to the diet of the chimpanzees are millet porridge, boiled eggs to give them the required balanced diet. Chimps can live for about 45 years in the wild and over 60 years in captivity. They're noted for communicating with each other by making loud hoots that can even be heard a mile away. Zakayo is retired as the alpha male 5 years ago and noted has a soft spot for children who come to visit him. Chimpanzees are highly social animals. Their communities consist of loose and flexible groups of males and females, fusion-fission societies. Their communities consist of loose and flexible groups of males and females, fusion-fission societies, within a fixed home range led by a dominant male. Members join and leave these communities freely, depending, among others, on their reproductive status and the availability of resources. However, chimps can be very aggressive. Groups of males will plan and execute attacks on other chimps, often causing serious injuries. Fatal attacks on humans have also been reported in many conservation areas and in the wild. Zakayo was kidnapped from his original family, surrendered to government because he was becoming aggressive to the owners. Today, he's in the evening of his life, but well looked after with regular meals of fruits and health checks. The population of chimps in Uganda is estimated at 4,950 and among the endangered species, as well as their natural habitat, the forests. Globally, chimpanzee population is less than 175,000, with them largely illegally traded, especially for pet trade. And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more of your updates on your mobile, on your desktop, on your tablet, anywhere on the go by visiting www.newvision.co.ug. I'm Lynn Komjisha.